Hey, everyone! Welcome back to PSYCHIANT, where we dive into books that can change our lives. I'm Mr. TomTom, your friendly book explorer, and today we're talking about a classic, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This book has been a game changer for millions, and I'm excited to share my journey with it. I'll break down each habit, share how it reshaped my life, and give you my honest review, warts and all. So, grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's get started. Before we dive in, let me set the stage. A few months ago, I was feeling stuck. My job was fine, but I wasn't growing. My days felt like a hamster wheel, busy but not meaningful. Then, a friend recommended The 7 Habits. I was skeptical. Self-help books. They can feel like fluff sometimes, right? But this one, wow. It's like a roadmap for living with purpose. Covey's big idea is that true effectiveness comes from aligning your life with timeless principles. Things like integrity, discipline, and empathy. He breaks it down into 7 habits, split into 3 stages: personal growth, teamwork, and renewal. Let's explore each one, and I'll tell you how I applied them and what I learned. Habit 1. Be proactive. Habit 1 is all about being proactive. Covey says we're not just products of our circumstances, we're creators of our destiny. It's about focusing on what you can control. Your actions, your attitude, your choices. Not the weather, not your boss's mood, not traffic. Sounds simple, but it hit me hard. Covey introduces the idea of the circle of influence versus the circle of concern. The circle of concern is all the stuff we worry about, like politics or other people's opinions. The circle of influence is what we can actually change, like how we respond or what we prioritize. Proactive people focus on that inner circle, and it grows over time. Reactive people, they get stuck complaining about things outside their control. For me, this was a wake-up call. I used to blame my lack of progress on my job. My boss doesn't appreciate me, I'd say. But Covey made me realize I was being reactive. So I started small. Instead of grumbling about my workload, I took initiative. I pitched a new project at work, something I'd been too scared to do. Guess what? My boss loved it. It wasn't about changing my job. It was about changing me. Being proactive meant owning my choices, even when it felt risky. I started journaling every night, listing 3 things I could control the next day, like I'll smile at my coworkers, or I'll finish one task before lunch. It's amazing how small choices build momentum. This habit taught me that I'm not a victim of my circumstances. I'm the driver. Habit 1 is about taking the wheel of your life. It's empowering, but also challenging, because it forces you to stop making excuses. For me, it was the spark that got me moving. But habit 2, begin with the end in mind. Habit 2 is begin with the end in mind. This one's about knowing where you're going. Covey says to imagine your life like a house. You need a blueprint before you start building. Without a clear vision, you're just hammering nails randomly. This habit is about defining your purpose and values. Covey suggests visualizing your own funeral. Yep, it's intense. What do you want people to say about you? That you were kind, successful, faithful? Then work backward to make choices that align with that vision. It's like setting a GPS for your life. I'll be honest, this one freaked me out at first. Thinking about my funeral? Yikes. But it made me reflect. I realized I was chasing short-term wins, like a promotion or a bigger paycheck, without asking, what do I really want? So I sat down and wrote a personal mission statement. Mine's simple. I want to inspire others, stay curious, and build strong relationships. That became my North Star. I started making decisions based on that mission. For example, I was spending too much time scrolling social media, which didn't fit my goal of staying curious. So, I swapped an hour of scrolling for reading books like this one. At work, I focused on mentoring a new colleague because it aligned with inspiring others. It felt like my life was finally pointing somewhere meaningful. Habit 2 is like drawing a map for your life. It's not about being perfect, it's about having a direction. For me, it gave my days purpose and helped me say no to distractions. Habit 3. Put first things first. Habit 3 is put first things first. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's about prioritizing what matters most, not just what's urgent. Covey calls it living in quadrant Y, the zone of important, non-urgent tasks. Covey uses a time management matrix with 4 quadrants. Quadrant Y is urgent and important, like deadlines. Quadrant 2 is important but not urgent, like planning or exercising. Quadrants 3 and IV, they're distractions, busy work, or time wasters. Effective people focus on Quadrant 2 to prevent crises and build long-term success. This habit exposed how scattered I was. I was always putting out fires, answering emails, rushing to meetings, but I wasn't investing in what really mattered, like my health or my family. Covey's matrix was a light bulb moment. I realized I had to schedule my priorities, not just react to my day. I started blocking out time for Quadrant 2 activities. Every Sunday, I plan my week, focusing on my mission statement from Habit 2. I carve out time for exercise, reading, and calling my parents. At work, I set aside an hour each week to brainstorm big picture ideas, instead of just tackling emails. It's not easy. Urgent stuff always creeps in. But it's made me feel more in control. Habit 3 is about discipline. It's saying, I'm going to protect what matters, even when life gets crazy. For me, it turned chaos into clarity. Habit 4, think win-win. Habit 4 is think win-win. This one's about relationships. Covey says the best solutions benefit everyone, not just you. It is not about winning at someone else. Expense. It is about finding a third way where everybody gains. Win-win is a mindset of abundance, not scarcity. Covey contrasts it with other approaches. Win-lose. I win, you lose. Lose. Win, I let you win. Or lose-lose. Nobody wins. Win-win requires trust, creativity, and a belief that there's enough success to go around. It's especially powerful in negotiations or conflicts. I used to think negotiations were a battle. At work, I'd push for my ideas, thinking it was me versus my team. But Covey showed me that's a losing game. I started looking for ways we could all win. For example, my colleague wanted to lead a project I was eyeing. Instead of competing, we co-led it, combining our strengths. The project was a hit, and we both got credit. I applied win-win at home too. My wife and I were arguing about how to spend our weekends. She wanted to socialize. I wanted to relax. Instead of compromising, we found a win-win. We host a small game night once a month, which is fun for her and low-key for me. It's made our relationship stronger. Habit 4 is about building trust. It's not always easy to find a win-win, but it's worth it. For me, it turned conflicts into opportunities. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Habit 5 is seek first to understand, then to be understood. This one's a game changer for communication. Covey says we need to listen, really listen, before we speak. It's about empathy. Covey talks about empathic listening, which means understanding someone's feelings and perspective, not just their words. Most of us listen to reply, not to understand. But when you truly get where someone's coming from, they're more likely to hear you out. It's a 2-step process. Understand first, then share. I thought I was a good listener, but I wasn't. I'd interrupt my friends with advice or my own stories. Covey made me see that I was listening to fix, not to understand. So, I practiced shutting up. Seriously. I started asking questions and reflecting back what I heard. Like, it sounds like you're frustrated because... It was awkward at first, but it built deeper connections. This habit transformed a tough conversation with my teenage daughter. She was upset about school, but wouldn't open up. Instead of lecturing, I listened and said, "It sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed." She opened up, and we had our best talk in years. At work, I used it during a team disagreement, and it helped us find common ground faster. Habit 5 is about building bridges. It's hard to stay quiet when you want to jump in, but it's magic for relationships. For me, it made me a better dad, friend, and teammate. Habit 6, synergize. Habit 6 is synergize. This is where things get exciting. Covey says that when we work together, we can create something bigger than what we could do alone. It's about teamwork and creativity. Synergy happens when 1 + 1 = 11, not 2. It's about valuing differences, different skills, perspectives, and ideas, and combining them to produce something extraordinary. It builds on habits 4 and 5, you need trust, win-win, and understanding, empathic listening, to make synergy work. I used to think teamwork meant everyone agreeing, but Covey showed me it's about embracing differences. At work, I was on a team with people who thought differently. One was super analytical, another was a big picture dreamer. Instead of clashing, we leaned into it. The analyst crunched data, the dreamer sparked ideas, and I kept us organized. The result? A campaign that blew our client away. I also saw synergy in my community. I joined a local volunteer group to clean up our park. We were a mixed bunch: retirees, students, parents. Everyone brought something unique. One guy had tools, another new plants. I handled logistics. Together, we transformed the park in a weekend. It was synergy in action. Habit 6 is about the power of we. It's not about erasing differences, it's about celebrating them. For me, it showed me the magic of collaboration. Habit 7, sharpen the saw. Habit 7 is sharpen the saw. This one's about renewal. Covey says you can't keep cutting wood with a dull saw. You need to sharpen it. That means taking care of yourself so you can keep growing. Covey breaks renewal into 4 areas: physical, health; mental, learning; emotional, relationships; and spiritual, purpose. It's about balance. If you neglect one area, it drags down the others. Habit 7 is the foundation that keeps the other habits sustainable. This habit was a reality check. I was burning out, working late, skipping workouts, barely sleeping. Covey made me see I was dulling my saw. I started small, a 20-minute walk every morning, reading 1 book a month, calling a friend weekly, and reflecting on my mission statement. It wasn't glamorous, but it recharged me. I set up a renewal routine. Physically, I joined a gym and meal prepped healthy lunches. Mentally, I took an online course on leadership. Emotionally, I made time for date nights with my wife. Spiritually, I started meditating to reconnect with my values. It's not perfect, but I feel sharper and more energized. Habit 7 is about investing in yourself. It's not selfish, it's essential. For me, it's the glue that holds the other habits together. So, is the 7 Habits worth reading? Let's break it down with my honest review, including its strengths, weaknesses, and whether it's right for you. Is it worth reading? Absolutely yes. This book is a timeless guide for anyone who wants to live with purpose and effectiveness. Whether you're a student, a parent, a CEO, or just someone feeling stuck like I was, there's something here for you. It's not just a book, it's a system for building a better life. I've seen real changes in my work, my relationships, and my mindset, and I know it can do the same for you. Let's talk about strengths. 1. Timeless principles. The habits are rooted in universal values like integrity and empathy, so they don't feel dated. Unlike trendy self-help fads, this book feels like it'll be relevant 50 years from now. Why it matters. These principles gave me a steady foundation. For example, being proactive isn't just a buzzword. It's a mindset that works in any situation, from parenting to managing stress. 2. Practical framework. The habits build on each other, creating a clear path from personal growth to teamwork to renewal. Covey's tools, like the time management matrix or mission statement, are actionable. Why it matters. I could apply these tools right away. My planner is now my best friend, thanks to Habit 3. 3. Holistic approach. It covers every part of life: work, family, health, spirit. It's not just about hustling for success, it's about balance. Why it matters. This helped me see that success isn't just a bigger paycheck. It's being healthy, connected, and purposeful. Habit 7 was a lifesaver for my burnout. 4. Inspiring and motivating. Covey's stories and examples, like the funeral visualization, are thought-provoking and stick with you. Why it matters. The funeral exercise in Habit 2 pushed me to rethink my priorities in a way no other book has. And how about weaknesses? 1. Dense and wordy. The book can feel heavy. Covey's writing is detailed, and some chapters drag with long explanations or jargon like paradigm shift. Why it's a problem. If you're not used to self-help books, it might feel overwhelming. I had to reread some parts to get the point. 2. Requires commitment. The habits aren't quick fixes. They demand time, effort, and self-discipline, which can be daunting. Why it's a problem. I struggled with Habit 3 because prioritizing takes practice. If you're looking for instant results, this might frustrate you. The 3. Business-heavy examples. Some of Covey's stories lean toward corporate settings, which might not resonate if you're not in that world. Why it's a problem. As a non-executive, I had to translate some examples to fit my life, like applying win-win to family disputes. 4. Cultural bias. The book reflects a Western, individualistic perspective, which might not fully connect with readers from collectivist cultures. Why it's a problem. Some ideas, like writing a personal mission statement, felt very American to me, and I wondered how they'd land in other contexts. Despite its flaws, The 7 Habits is a must-read. Its strengths far outweigh its weaknesses. If you're willing to put in the work, it's a blueprint for a meaningful life. The density is worth pushing through, and the business examples don't detract from the universal principles. Just be ready to adapt it to your own context. I give it a 9/10. It's not perfect, but it's as close as self-help gets. Wow, what a journey. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People took me from feeling stuck to feeling empowered. Each habit built on the last, helping me take charge of my life, align with my values, and connect with others. Be proactive, start with the end in mind, prioritize, think win-win, listen deeply, synergize, and keep sharpening your saw. These aren't just habits, they're a way of life. I'm not perfect at them, nobody is, but I'm better than I was. My work's more fulfilling, my relationships are stronger, and I'm healthier. If you're ready to grow, I can't recommend this book enough. Pick it up, take it slow, and let it work its magic. Have you read The 7 Habits? Which habit resonates with you? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss my next book adventure. Until then, keep growing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.